Eureka, Grade 2, Module 3, Lesson 2. Count up and down between 100 and 220 using ones and tens. Welcome back. Remember yesterday we used my box of craft sticks to count. We made groups of tens and even groups of hundreds. Let's review. We can have one stick to count with. One stick represents the number 1, or numbers that are in the 1 place value. We can also have groups of 10. When we bundle a group of 10 sticks together, these represent groups of 10, or the 10 place value. We even made bundles of 100. When we have groups of 100, this represents the hundreds place value. Remember, it took 10 individual sticks to make one bundle of 10. One bundle of 10 is made with 10 individual sticks. It takes 10 of these bundles of 10 to make 100. That means 100 is made with 10 of these bundles of 10. And we even learned yesterday that 10 bundles of 100 will make 1,000. Let's look again at these different ways we can represent place value. This large bundle represents hundreds. This bundle of 10 represents the tens place value. And this one stick represents the ones place value. There are many ways to represent place value and to help us count and create numbers. I'm going to show you some more manipulatives or tools, math tools, you could use to help represent numbers and place values. This square represents 1. It's 1 square. When you get 10 of those squares, you can make a 10 stick. This represents one group of 10 because there are 10 individual squares. When you get 10 groups of 10, you have 100. So this larger square represents 100. It has 10 groups of 10 and 100 small squares in it. It is a 100 place value cube. We're going to use these place value blocks to help us count today. Let's review. If I show you this one square, what number would you say? That's right, the number 1. This one square represents the number 1. Can you count these squares? Well done. It's the number 3. Now, let's review. What happens when we get 10 small squares? What can we trade those 10 small squares for? Our 10 ones for one 10 stick. That's right. Once we have 10 ones, we can trade it in for a 10 stick. That represents 110. What number are we representing with these two 10 sticks? We would count by tens. Try it. 10, 20. The number 20. Let's review a few more. Let's count to see what number we have here, starting by counting by tens and then counting on by ones because these represent groups of 10 and these are just individual ones. Here we go. 10, 20, 30, 40. Now we're counting by ones. 41, 42, 43. These blocks together make the number 43. What would we do if we had 10 tens? Do you remember what we can trade 10 tens for? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 groups of 10. Let's count by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. That's what we can trade 10 tens for, 100. Here we have 100. We represent it with the number, the digits 100. That's the number 100. What do we have now if we add 1, 1? That's right, we have the number 101. Let's keep counting. 102. What would this be? 103, 104, 105 and 106, 107, 108, 109, 110. What can we do with these 10 ones again? When once we get to 10, we can trade it for? That's right, a 10 stick. Here we have the number 110. Let's count by tens all up from 110. Here we go. Here's 100, 10, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200. Now I have 10 groups of 10. Do you remember what I can trade those 10 groups of 10 for? That's right, another 100 block. Now I have 200. Let's count by hundreds. We have 200, so let's keep counting on. 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. What can we do with 10 groups of 100? You're right, we can trade them for 1,000 cube. That's a lot of small 1 units. It's 1,000. Here's 100. I want you to count to 124. Think, what's the fastest, most efficient way we could go from 100 to 124? Is it to count just by ones and to use only ones place value cubes? Or do you think there's a faster way we could do it? What do you think? Well, I see here that we have 2 groups of 10. So maybe we could trade those 2 groups of 10 for 10 sticks. Now, this is a faster way to get to 124. Let's count it together. 100, 110, 120, 121, 122, 123, 124. Is there another way that we could get to 124? We could count differently. Maybe we want to start with 100 and then count our ones. Let's try it. 100, 101, 102, 103, 104. Now we're counting by tens. 114, 124. These are all different ways we can get to 124. Let's try this one. 100, 110. Now we're counting by ones. 111, 112, 113, 114, 124. Good counting. Here's 124. Let's see if we can count backwards to 100. Here we go. 124, 123, 122, 121, 120. Now we need to count back by 10. 110, 100. Good counting. Excuse me. Here is 124. Now we need to get to 220. Let's count on starting with our ones. We have 110, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 124. Let's count on with ones. 125, 126, 127, 128, 129, 130. What can we do with those 10 ones? That's right, trade them for a 10 stick. We have 130. Let's keep counting by tens until we get to 220. 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200. What can we do with 10 tens? You got it. Trade it for another 100 block. Now we have 200. We need to get to 220. Let's keep counting by tens. 200, 210, 220. You did it. Good work today. You're awesome. Head back to Seesaw and you're going to get a chance to count with tens, ones, and 100 blocks on Seesaw. See you there.